Hello, hello, Diana here. Have you ever gotten to the end of a year and kind of reviewed it and thought, ugh, it was kind of a shitstorm? Well, that would be my great crash of 2019. That crash lasted the whole year. So, before we get to that, take a minute to grab yourself a cup of coffee. I don't know if you guys do this, but I do it every year, and it is eye-opening. Do you sit down at the end of the year and review what you've accomplished or what you haven't accomplished, what you did, what you didn't do, what you wanted to do, and what just didn't get done? Well, I do that each year, and I journal. So it's really easy for me to review a year because I can go look at my journal and I can see the entries I did from the beginning of the year. I can see what my dreams are, what my goals are, what my objective. I can see all that. So it's like a year in review. And every time I get to the end of a journal, I reread. I just kind of go thumb through the journal. So come the end of 2019, well, I didn't think that I was that impressed with 2019. And then I read my spirals and my journals. And I had a lot of reason not to be impressed with 2019. I drank too much. And by drinking too much, I don't mean like was an obnoxious drunk or anything like that. Sometimes it could be as little as one drink. Sometimes it could be as little as, 20 drinks. I'm not saying, judge if you want, but I enjoyed drinking and I love tequila. I'm kind of mean on whiskey, so to get along better with my boyfriend, I'd stick to tequila. Because I think I'm funny on whiskey, but I can get a little mean. Tequila just makes me chipper. So I enjoyed drinking, and I always thought that I would be boring if I didn't. I didn't want to give up drinking because I thought, geez, I don't want to be that person that, oh, she's not drinking anymore. I don't know why, because I don't usually care about other people's opinion, but that's the big reason I didn't stop drinking sooner. But near 2019, I just think the Lord looks out for me, because if I do anything too much, He puts the ixnay to it. So by the end of 2019, I was starting to get migraines, and I could be as little, like I was saying, as little as one drink, and I could wake up in the morning with a migraine. And when I get a migraine, it lasts a minimum of 3 days. And by the end of 2019, they started lasting 4 days. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have so many things I want to do in life and so much I want to accomplish. And you get all excited and you have a few drinks to celebrate, and the next thing I know, I'm sitting in my pause chair, which is a chair I got from my grandfather's estate when he passed away, and so very, very dear to me. That's where I journal and read and all that. But so I'm sitting in pause chair for 3 to 4 days. All these things I want to accomplish, and they all got to be put on the back burner, because for 3 or 4 days, I'm going to be sitting there with ice on the back of my neck, ice on my forehead, and no pill known to man can take care of those headaches. So I noticed near the end of 2019, drinking got to where I was almost afraid to do it. It's like I wanted to go and have the fun of it, but I was almost afraid of what would happen the next day. And like I said, it's just weird. Psychologically, I just had a hard time saying that I wasn't drinking. And no, thank you, I'm not drinking. So I started kind of slowing down. I'll get to my points here. I'm going to recap 2019 for you. So I start slowing down on my drinking, and I went to a party one night, a birthday party for a girlfriend of mine, and we were at a bar, and I wasn't drinking, hadn't had anything to drink. The girl's telling me a story, and I'm just sitting there listening to the story. You know what? I'm laughing and joking with everybody else. I had a glass of ice water, so everybody didn't know I wasn't drinking, and she's telling me this story, and she goes, well, actually, Diana, why don't you just look it up tomorrow when you're not drunk? And I'm like, excuse me, I haven't had a drink. I haven't had a drink in like over a week. I sure as hell haven't had a drink tonight. Am I acting drunk? She says no. And I said, well, then there you have it. Apparently I'm this much fucking fun sober. And that was so eye-opening for me, because I don't know why. I just always thought that I wouldn't be as much fun if I didn't drink. And apparently I'm as obnoxious sober as I am drunk. So it didn't matter. So that was really eye-opening for me, that I didn't need to drink and that my stupid excuse I had been telling myself all these years was irrelevant. So when I'm recapping my 2019 and I'm looking through my journal, I see all these things I wanted to do, but then I'd also see where they weren't done. And I knew my drinking was not in my journals. I'm one thing about journaling, I only journal positive stuff. So I didn't journal the fact that I had headaches for 3 or 4 days, but I knew myself all these things that I wanted to accomplish. And so often, at least once a month, sometimes twice a month, which would mean every other week, I was getting the migraines. And I had tried hormones and everything else. And I can't say that it was all just drinking, because there's often I'd get it without the drinking, but it was a big thing. So that made me realize I had just partied too much and worked too little in 2019. And then about the middle of 2019, actually, let me back up a little bit. The beginning, or in 2018, about the end of 2018, I had wanted to write a journal, because like I said, I journal. And I wanted to create a journal because I love journaling, but I always find that there's things I wish other journals had. And it's just something that I'm so passionate about journaling and starting my days with gratitude and intention that I wanted to make one. I thought I wanted to write a book. Come to find out I can't write. So the journal was up my cup of tea. But the end of 18, I had this idea. I watched tons of YouTube videos learning how to do InDesign and create it and all this kind of stuff. So I just was gung-ho the end of 2018. When I did my year in review at the end of 2019, I could see where the beginning of 19, I was just all excited about this journal idea. And then it just went by the wayside. And I noticed that in my journal, I would talk about something different. And then I'd talk about something different. And then I'd talk about something different. To the point where at the end of 2019, I hadn't accomplished anything. My business had gone backward because I was so busy trying other things. And I think that that's human nature. But I'm just going to tell my story so that if this is something that you're going through, you realize you are not alone. We all do this. At least I hope we all do it, because I know I do. But my journal was reflecting excitement about one thing, and then it didn't turn out the way I wanted. So then I would just be excited about something else and excited about something else, and I didn't follow through. And like I said, in the back of my mind, I knew a lot of it was the partying that I was doing. It was the, all day long, do whatever, do my work all day. And then every evening was cocktails. When I would want to go horseback riding, I'd make a drink, have a drink, and then I'd make a drink for the ride. And then my rides were short because I wanted to come back and have a drink. And then my whole social life revolved around drinking. And I knew that, even though it wasn't reflected in my journal. And that's not it. Hold your horses. That's why I told you to get a cup of coffee, because you're going to need it. So then there is the big parent debacle, big parent debacle. To this day, I refer to them as passed away, because my dad got hurt at my house, no fault of anybody's, but he slipped on those stairs right there, hit his shoulder right there. And they asked for my homeowner's information for some of their medical bills. And I thought, between medical insurance and Medicaid, I don't think they have any medical bills. But I thought I would do the right thing, and I gave them my information, knowing I was about to get fucked. I knew it, and it came in spades. So what I find out when my insurance company calls me is that if they ask what happened, I said, hey, slipped on the stairs, moving a mattress, fell right here, hurt his shoulder. He got hurt here. I don't deny he got hurt here. Pay his medical bills. My insurance company says, well, Diana, we tried to pay their medical bills. They don't want the medical bills. You have over $400,000 in liability insurance. That's what they want. I'm like, what? You're kidding me. Nope. However, they realize that it has to be your fault in order for them to get your liability insurance. So my parents tried to tell the insurance company that I let go of the mattress And that's how my dad fell. And so consequently, that would make it my fault. I'm like, well, that's impossible, because if I'd have let go of the mattress, my mom would have fallen too, because I was at the top and they were at the bottom. And when the ambulance came to help my dad stand, because he had a bad shoulder, so he couldn't stand up. So when the ambulance came, my dad said, oh, sorry, I feel like such a klutz. I slipped on the stair and fell, and now I hurt my shoulder and I can't get up. So the ambulance people started to help him stand up. And my parents said, hey, that mattress is stuck in the hallway. Would you guys go move it up into our daughter's room? And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, just help my dad up. Take care of my dad. I'll worry about the mattress later. Mind you, mattress is stuck in the stairwell, and they asked the ambulance to move it up. The ambulance drivers to put it up there for me. So I tell the insurance company this. So the insurance company says, well, that makes sense. I have to send pictures of my staircase. I have to send pictures of the mattress, do all that. They call me a number of times and everything. And they find, the facts are it'd be physically impossible for me to let go of the damn mattress and cause this problem or this accident in any way. So they deny the claim. So that's not good enough. My parents then get an attorney. And because an attorney's involved, now they have 3 years to drag this out. And they are. They're not supplying one piece of paper that would put all this to rest. I'm at the point where I don't even care if they get paid. I don't care if they want. Far as I'm concerned, they are passed away to me. But I need the claim closed because I can't get homeowners insurance as long as the claim's open. So myself and my sister has asked them, please, all they're waiting for is one document. Please supply the one document so that this can be put to rest. I don't even care if they get paid anymore. But no, they don't want to supply the one document because the one document proves that I did not have anything to do with it because said mattress was still stuck up in them stairs. So that was from the middle to the end of 2019. I had that shitstorm going. So between drinking too much and then coming to the realization that your parents don't like you, that was hard to stomach. I didn't think it bothered me as bad as obviously it bothered me, because then I drank even more, partied even more, had even more headaches, worked even less, just lost motivation by the end of 2019. So I decided it was time to regroup. And 2020, I haven't had a drink. Every single day I'm taking a step toward my goals. And as far as I'm concerned, my parents passed away in 2019. That's just easier for me. It's easier for me to think of them as dead than to dwell on the fact that they obviously want no relationship with me, or that they're doing what they're doing. So I'm no longer hurt by that. And so you have to remove anything toxic in your life, whatever doesn't serve you. Your age doesn't matter. Your past doesn't matter. Nothing matters. All that matters is that every single day you are doing what's best for you. Every single day you're taking a step toward what's important to you. That's what matters. But that lack of motivation and all that shitstorm of 2019 gave me wings to fly through 2020. Fly. I have not had a sip of booze in the year 2020. Not a sip. New Year's Eve, I did, but not in 2020. I have not had a drink, so I'm feeling amazing. I am completely focused on the journal that I started in 2018. I'm laser focused to the point. Yesterday, I ordered the first print of the first edition. And I put it out there to my Facebook community, and I've already got pre-orders for over half of the first edition is already pre-ordered. I haven't done any ads or anything. So I just want to tell people, no matter what you're coming from, if you just focus, every day really is a new start. Like you would think after 2019, life was just going to go downhill. And it didn't. It just drove me to realize that, oh my gosh, that was kind of a nasty ass year. So it just made me focus. So let that shit fuel you. It's okay to beat yourself up. I gotta say, I'm usually huge on saying give yourself grace. You can give yourself grace to a degree, but also sometimes you gotta give yourself a swift kick in the ass, because in your quiet moments, at least I know, what's wrong. Like I said, in my quiet moments, I knew I was drinking too much. In my quiet moments, I knew I was getting the shiny object syndrome and doing all kinds of other things and not staying focused. In my quiet moments, I know that I was crushed by what my parents were doing to me, all in my quiet moments. So you've got nobody to blame but yourself. And every now and then, you're going to have a heart to heart and a look in the mirror and realize the shitstorm you're living through is your shitstorm, and we make it. We make our own. So I realize there's some things that we can't control, but it's the thing that happens we can't control. I cannot control what my parents did to me. What I control is how I react to it. So I have now learned that to consider my parents passed away is way easier for me than to dwell on the fact that my parents don't care, to dwell on the fact my relationship obviously means nothing to them, to dwell on the fact that they don't have a relationship with my daughter or her children. The fact that, the holidays come, I'm one of 4 girls. So the rest of my sisters have a relationship with my parents and I don't. And so instead of dwelling on all that, it's so much easier for me to consider them dead. I'm not mad at them anymore at all either. I feel like I had a relationship with my parents. It was strained for years. My mother and I had a strained relationship through the years. Trust me. I mean, at one point, I was a single mom selling real estate, and my mom bought a $350,000 home from a different realtor. Yeah, she's that kind of mother. She eats her young, and I being her young. But anyhow, it's the way I react to it, coming to the realization that I'm okay. I had a relationship with them for a certain time. The relationship is done, which is like a death in the family. And that's easier for me, however you want to deal with things. But just know whatever you went through, whatever yesterday was, it's not today. It's just not. No matter, even if your whole year sucked, you got today or you got tomorrow. Take a deep breath. Wake up tomorrow and change something. Wake up tomorrow and take a step toward whatever you want to do. Because a lot of people, I'm going to be 51 Sunday. And at 51, and here I'm kind of, creating a journal and doing something I've never done before. And I stopped drinking. And I feel like I'm kind of getting a second wind at 51. And so don't ever think it's too late to do something, and don't ever think that what you've been through will prevent you from doing something else. My biggest thing from the journaling that I have learned is when I go back and reflect on what was important to me, it just go back and think of the things that were important to you. Did you follow them? Are you doing anything daily? Chase those dreams that you put up by the wayside. Chase those dreams you thought you were too old for. If you could talk to your younger self, what would you tell your younger self to do? So do that. What would you tell somebody else to do? Do that. If somebody said, boy, my last year sucked, what would your advice be to them? Do that. You'll learn, you grow, and what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I tell you, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. And if it doesn't make you stronger, then reevaluate the way that you're looking at the things that are happening in your life. That's the biggest takeaway that I hope you get from this video, is evaluate the way you respond to the things that happen and use them to your advantage, no matter what they are. There is always a lesson to be learned in everything. There's something you can take away from it. So sometimes when you're going through shit storms in your life, think, okay, what is this trying to teach me? So 2019 was trying to teach me I needed to focus. I needed to follow my heart. I needed to follow through. I needed to stop drinking. And my parents passed away instead of dwelling on the hurt that I got from being betrayed by them. So there was something to learn from all of that. So make sure that you are looking at all your life experiences as, what is this trying to teach me? Sometimes you got to dig really deep. Sometimes it's just easier to say this is just a shit show. But realistically, you're going through it to learn something. There is a meme that I love. I don't know where the quote came from, but it says, God, why are you putting me through such rough waters? And the response is, your enemy doesn't know how to swim. That's pretty powerful. So make sure you're out swimming all your enemies. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay surrounded by loved ones, and most of all, stay grateful for all of your blessings. Until next time. Have you ever reviewed a year and thought, this is just a test to make sure this motherfucker ain't going slow motion again? I would really appreciate a subscribe because it matters to me and it matters to the channel and it matters to YouTube. So thank you so much.